Hi, it's Craig Metrowich from VideoCelebrityNews.com, and today we are going to be sharing with you hope versus gloom. And Daniel is not the guy that's going to be sharing only the gloom side with us. I want to introduce to you Daniel Silk, independent political analyst, which is a heck of a mouthful. I obviously had to practice that a few times, Daniel. And we're based here in Cape Town, South Africa. And in the next couple of minutes, we just want to share with you a journey, a biography of what it takes to get into the career of talking around politics and finance. He's a very excitable guy on the subject. I think he's as enthusiastic about his career as I am. So Daniel, let's share the venue first. Daniel, let's do a little turn here, because I mean, we said we hope for some sun. Okay, we didn't get a perfect day for you, but we got a venue that is really cool. Stop right there, get in the light. Okay, Daniel, tell me if it is here. All right, let's go straight into the interview. So, Daniel, just give us a little bit of an intro as to what you do, what is your forte, how do you make a living, what's your focus?
What do I do? I've got a fantastic job. I love what I do. I am a speaker, and I speak professionally around the world, in South Africa, across Africa, and globally as well, on a combination of political and economic issues. So I analyze what's happening in a country, what's going to happen in the future.
In the future?
I have to look into the future. Everyone wants to know what's going to happen tomorrow.
Nostradamus that did that.
Oh, Nostradamus, Daniel, they call me as well.
Brilliant.
But it's a job in which one really has to be absolutely aware of what's happening right now. You have to understand the context of a country, of what people are saying. And I'm a news junkie, Craig, so to me, I follow the news all the time. I listen to multiple newscasts from multiple different sources just to check the validity of these sources as well.
Let's pause there. In actual fact, that's a great subject. You know, it's something I've got to warn all our followers and viewers. Fake news. You mustn't just share anything you read. That's why we love these live feeds, by the way. The live feeds for me is awesome because it puts some legitimacy into the message. Versus us creating a video, doing an edit, we could green screen it, we could put in the background. There's so much we could do. So that's a cool thing to touch in this conversation, is around the fake news. Politically, does fake news make a difference?
Well, it's very difficult to analyze in a world of fake news because, frankly, everyone now is getting these inputs from all sorts of different sources, some of them completely false. And that creates a different image in the minds of your audience or in the minds of anybody. So cutting to the reality, to the real story, is also why I'm hired, frankly, to cut to the chase, to cut out the noise that there is in the media, and to give some sort of credible. What's important is that you have to be a credible speaker with a credible track record. And that issue of credibility is critical, because when you're analyzing your fake news, as you've correctly said, Craig, there are so many websites out there that are simply not credible. And one can identify those over time. But it's becoming more tough, I think, for the average citizen to figure that out.
Absolutely agree with you. I mean, if from a speaking point of view, my niche is business performance coaching and inspirational speaking, energizing the workplace. And, you know, I'm on record saying I hate rah-rahs and blah-blahs, unless it's a superstar team and we go in there to do like what I call recognition, because there's nothing better than having your team together, having an external independent, I'm independent just like you, independent person that comes in and says, look, here's the reality. If it was as simple as reading all the books to be successful, as an example, then read all the books. But it's not that simple. You need a human being interacting and debating. And that's the value of the physical aspect of the type of work you do and I do.
No, you're right, because I find more and more clients want somebody from the outside. They want an independent voice. They also don't just want somebody from within their own organization to come and give an assessment of the current situation. They want that outside independent view. And that's why, frankly, they're hiring me, so that I'm a little different. I'm not the stock corporate speaker.
Look, am I a little different with these shades on? For the people watching vlogging, I need to use the glasses. I'll let you see my eyes. I've got no issue with my eyes. There we go. Is so that I can see what's happening as far as the responses. I haven't explained that to Daniel. Let's carry on. You know, South Africa. Let's get to South Africa. How has South Africa versus the rest of the world as far as the volatility? Are we uniquely on our own? You know, I am an optimist. I'm also a realist, right?
Yes.
Are we uniquely on our own? Is the world volatile? Let's set the tone of the challenges out there. Tell us about the challenges, and then we're definitely going to finish on a high. Tell us about the challenges.
You know, Craig, one of the great pleasures of my job is that I travel, and I travel to speak for clients all over the world.
Right.
And frankly, I've been in the US very, very recently. I've been in the UK very, very recently as well. There are concerns, political concerns and economic concerns absolutely everywhere. There's political risk everywhere. And South Africans are very hard on themselves. We often don't look beyond our own borders. We get very insular and myopic in terms of how we view our own situation. But just go off to Washington or to Miami or New York and listen to what Americans are saying about concern about their own country.
Right.
Look what's happened in the UK over the last few days. An election which has created great uncertainty. A Brexit for Britain, undoing 43 years of trade deals. You know, when you look at those issues,
over 4 decades of effort been undone.
And it's uncharted water for the Brits as well. Go to Turkey, create a great country. But there where there is repression against those who dislike the current political regime, you know, when you look at all of those issues, yes, there are problems in South Africa, of course, and they're very serious problems, but the grass isn't necessarily green on the other side.
Yeah, and you know something, also having traveled extensively across the world, you know, the thing about South Africa is our hardiness, and not just that, is if you've ever used public transport, and I have used public transport quite often, the interesting thing is nobody has a vibe on it. I mean, people sit next to you. There's the odd situation, yes, but in general, if you look at South Africans, we get along with almost everybody. All right, there is a lot of what I would say propaganda politically for intentions. I get it, but if you look at any type of environment, sports, culture, we generally get along. Is that a fair comment? Am I right? Or am I being Craigie, you're in La La Land?
No, Craig.
Do we get along?
I think it's a very fair comment, and I think what's very important, just from a political point of view, is that we don't allow ourselves to be divided. And there are those who want to use current situations, wherever you are in the world, to divide people. And I agree with you completely. I travel, I mean, we really do respect one another in South Africa, but I do warn, don't be divided for somebody else's political ends.
Okay, I get it. Explain the independence side, because you know that's a key word in what you do. Is independence. What does that mean as far as giving advice, as far as politics and as well as finance?
Well, look, what it means is that I'm not beholden unto any political party or view. I'm not a member of any political party. I act completely independently, and also I'm not on the payroll of any larger company or corporate. That also allows me to criticize fairly across the board, all sides. It also allows me to put forward certain alternatives, and an audience can take away what they want to take away without there being any filtering, without there being any hidden or subliminal message that could come from some other form of affiliation.
Okay, so in my business coaching and inspirational speaking that I do, it's very similar type format in which I also tell the decision maker, the reason why you need an outside person is because I won't judge the team by their past failures. What happens is they condition. They think about the last month, they think about the last quarter, on how a team might be battling, and all they're doing is they're reinforcing and reminding them that they're battling. I come in as the outsider and I go, I'm here to share hope with you. Let's energize the team. I don't care that you might be on a second warning. I don't even know that. Get your act together. Let's turn your team around. Let's energize your business. Let's find out not what's wrong. Let's look at what's right about you. I mean, I can't sing. By the way, my daughter can sing, by the way. Okay, that's a fact. I can't sing. The point is she's got the raw talent. Teams have raw talent. She would need a coach, a voice coach, right, to go to the next level. And similarly, in business, you need that independence to come in and say, hey, I think you're wrong, and this is why, but I care for you. Saying it, you think you're wrong, but we care for you. I think you're right, not because we care for you, because we want to care for you to shine your very, very best. So, Daniel, I love the fact that I see you caring for us. Let's go a little bit deep now emotionally, right? Do you care about South Africa?
Well, I think
yes or no? Is that not your question?
Look, Craig,
do you care about us?
I wouldn't do what I do if I didn't care about the country and if I didn't want the best for the country. And I think most South Africans want the best. We come at it with different solutions from different angles, ideological angles, political angles, historical angles. But I'm passionate about South Africa. I think this country has remarkable potential. I am, to be honest, disappointed that we haven't lived up to our potential for the last 15, 20 years or so. But there's always that possibility that things can turn around, and there are signs, indeed, that could be the case over the course of the next medium term.
Then Daniel, I mean, what I'm impressed about is a guy like you. You're a local guy, yet he's traveled extensively. Give us some of the highlights recently. What programs have you been on a global basis?
Well, I do travel. I think, I've traveled in other parts of the African continent, which has been terrific because that gives you perspective also in relating South Africa to our neighboring countries. So I was recently in Kenya and in Ethiopia, and I'll be back in Rwanda as it happens towards the end of the year. This gives me the chance to put into some context how these other countries have managed to grow their economies and frankly how we have not followed suit. So there is context to travel, and that's what you get from travel. And only in the last few weeks I happened to be addressing an international conference in Bermuda on...
Yeah, but hang on, that's not work. Come on, Bermuda. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, is Bermuda work? Why wasn't I invited?
Let me tell you, you know like me, that conferences are work because very often all you see is the conference room.
Yeah, you arrive, you do your thing, and then people think you hit the beach, and it doesn't work that way.
The beach and the hotel is there, but you're in the conference room, and that's the problem with that kind of...
I get it.
But yeah, I mean, I had a great time in Bermuda, and there I was talking about Donald Trump and Brexit and China's economy going forward. In Bermuda, they weren't interested in South Africa. They wanted a global perspective.
Right.
And that's marvelous for me to get that.
Okay, excellent. Okay, so I'm worried a little bit about the connection on this side. If it pixelates, I do apologize. Obviously, Wi-Fi I can't control. So, yeah, here's the wrap-up of this. This is our live interview. My name's Craig Metrowich. This is Daniel Silk. We're going to do an in-depth recorded interview of this, unplugged and also uncut in a similar style. Daniel, anything to add to our viewers, our live viewers, as to something you want to leave a message? Remember our theme, hope versus gloom. Is there hope?
Absolutely, there's hope. And I think we in South Africa certainly are going through a very, very rough patch, probably the roughest patch since before 1994. On the basis of that, I think we all need to be vigilant and watch what's going to happen over the course of the next 6-7 months or so. But I think there are enough South Africans across the political spectrum who will effect more meaningful and positive change over the course of the next year. And on that basis, I believe my hope is realistic hope.
Okay, so here's my concluding strapline statement. Share the light, share the love.